Hello, everyone. Welcome to Observer Live. I'm your host, Gary Keith, and we have joining us this evening candidate for Clarksburg City Council, Hattie Wright.
Hello. How are you?
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Of course. I'm excited.
How are you feeling about the election so far?
I'm feeling really good about it. I feel like I've put in a lot of hard work. That's really all I can do, is put in the time and effort and hope it works out. So.
I asked everybody else, so I got to ask you too. You already knocking on doors? You've been doing some of that?
A little bit of knocking on doors. I've done some of the downtown area. I've done some Staley. I've done some Northview area. So
cool.
Wish I had more time to do more of it.
So for those of you that don't know, Hattie was on council for 1 year during the whole term limits debacle when we had to find 1 year there. It was crazy. And then she didn't win the second time, but she had a really good excuse, right? You were a little less active that second election, weren't you?
Yeah. So I had my baby while I was on.
You were not knocking on doors that election.
No, I was just a few weeks postpartum and I was not in the mood to get out and campaign. But everything works out for a reason. And my daughter's 2 years old now. And so
perfect,
more independent and I have more time.
Absolutely. So tell me, let's just, for people who don't know you, because a lot of people don't pay attention to city council. Mm-hmm. They may not even know you were on there a year. Let's just pretend like nobody knows you and tell me a little bit about Hattie.
Okay. So I'm originally from Doddridge County. That's where my parents live, close to Salem. And I'm married to Nick Wright, who's his family is from Clarksburg originally. And so that's kind of how I ended up here in 2020. Not going to lie, I was a little hesitant at first to move from Morgantown to Clarksburg, but I actually started to love Clarksburg once I moved here. Just within a month or two, I thought, this is such a great place. Everything's so convenient. It's quiet. There was just a lot that I really liked about Clarksburg. So that's how we ended up here. And in my professional life, I do financial planning. I'm also an investment advisor for a firm called Ingalls & Snyder. So essentially what that means is I help manage investment portfolios and then help people create financial plans, look at their retirement, look at their education savings for their children, just all different, financial decisions like that. What else? I do a lot of community service. I do work on the board of a couple nonprofit organizations. So I like to get involved in the community. And I feel like it's kind of our responsibility to give back and to use our skill set to help the community. So that's kind of like what I like to do and what brings me a lot of joy.
And your husband is a fireman, right?
Yes, for the city of Morgantown. He's been doing it for almost, I think, 16 or 17 years now. So
somebody asked me the other day if he was a fireman in Clarksburg, and I didn't think he was.
No.
Okay, so it's Morgantown.
Yeah. He just, when we moved here, he had already had like 12 years in, so he wasn't going to kind of start back over as the newbie.
It's kind of a big drive for him, yeah?
Yeah, it's 11 days a month because it's 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's not Monday through Friday in rush hour traffic. So it's not as bad as it seems.
I should have been a fireman.
Maybe. But then most of them work second jobs.
Exactly. That's why I should have been a fireman. I have like 4 jobs.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have a bunch of jobs anyways.
So, like I said, for people that aren't aware, Hattie was on city council for a year. So, I don't know, give me some highlights of what you learned first time around on city council.
Yeah, so I learned a lot the first year.
Really there for like a minute. Like 1 year is nothing.
I know. Yeah, I feel like I was just starting to understand and learn, and even just how the meetings operate and the inside, workings of the different departments. And then it was like, okay, you're done now. So what did I learn? I learned that if I'm elected again, to speak up more. That's one thing I regret, is being a little bit more timid. And part of that was because I was learning a lot and I was just trying to listen and be present and soak everything in. This time I know more, and I think I would speak my mind a lot more than what people would probably guess.
I think even I was probably a little timid the first.
Really?
It takes you a minute to figure stuff out. Like, okay, I shouldn't say I was timid, but I was only crazy about like 3 or 4 things that I talked about to get elected. And I only cared about those things. Like I wanted to give the cops a raise and get rid of the needle exchange and blah, blah, blah. Just a couple things. And then I got there. It's like, wow, there's a lot more to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, it takes at least I feel like 8, 9, 10 months to figure out what you're doing.
Yes. And how
And then
you
were
can
out of there.
contribute. Yeah, exactly.
So you didn't really have a chance to do anything.
No, not really.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate, but
So what made you run again? I feel like also a year could have been just the perfect amount to get in there and say, what am I doing here? Especially when
I
you
know.
have a great job like you do and all this education. You're so smart. You have all these things going on. You're not really the typical city council person.
Yeah, I might be a little crazy. I don't know. I will say the year that I did serve, I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it.
Really?
I did.
God,
Parts
I was
of
so
it.
angry all the time when I was there.
Well, I enjoyed it for the most part. Obviously, there's parts of it that are hard.
Sure.
So, and I had a little bit of sadness still about not winning the last election. So it's like, why not try again? I want to be involved. I have a good skill set that can help the community. So why not? My daughter's a little bit more grown up now, and
Sure.
I have more time and a little bit more freedom. So I'd like to get back in there and work on some more things that I really didn't get the chance to work on.
So one thing on one of your advertisements,
Yeah.
which I have your stuff up on my screen over here too. I didn't scroll down to find it. I should have, but one of the things you put, you could read a budget. I laughed so hard when I read that because you would think that would be everybody, but I will even say somebody like me when I first came in, the budget was pretty overwhelming.
Yeah. I could see
but
that.
this is small fries to you, yeah?
I don't want to say small fries, but in my professional life, I'm responsible.
That's what you do.
I'm responsible for about 58, 59 million under my book of
Lord.
business. Yeah. And so, I'm used to dealing with large amounts of money and allocating those funds and advising on that money and just helping people make smart financial decisions. So I feel like that can carry over to the budget. What can we do within the budget that's smarter, that's more efficient,
Sure.
how we allocate funds? So, and I don't say that in any way to brag or anything like that. That's actually very small
allowed to
scale. That's
I
very
hate it when people don't want to brag. You can brag a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, that's me bragging maybe a little bit, but that's actually very small book of business in the investment advising world.
Really?
It is. It is, but it's something I'm very proud of because I have grown it from about 20 million to right under 60. So awesome. I'm very proud of that. So all those people trust me with their money and their life savings, and
right, they pick you.
They do, and
we just need these people to pick you.
Well, yeah, it's not quite the same thing, but
it isn't, but it is, right?
It is, yeah. It's making smart financial decisions on behalf of the city. So I think I can do that.
I think the Clarksburg budget is right around 20 million right now.
Yeah.
So if you could grow that to 50, that'd be spectacular.
Oh, my goodness. I'm not promising that, just putting that out there.
So I guess since you know a lot about the finances, what do you think that Clarksburg's doing well right now? Do you have anything? I don't know. Is that a good question? I don't know.
Well, let me think about that. I mean, I think Clarksburg's pretty good about supporting our essential needs, our firemen, our police.
Big thing for you, right?
Big thing for me. I think we can do better and be better for our employees as well. As far as what they're doing right, sometimes I think, well, let me say this. Sometimes
Basic things.
I think
Right.
sometimes the funding is not followed through. So say we fund an initiative, sometimes maybe we don't follow through with that. And so that would be, what I think we could improve on.
I agree.
Not putting anyone down.
That's an excellent answer. I think some of the not following through probably has a lot to do with that group that you were with only being there 1 year. That was a lot of carpet pulling there where people didn't get a chance to follow through with things.
Yeah.
And, when the votes change, that changes a lot of, who's interested in doing what.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things that people want to do because it was their idea. And I talked about this with one of the other people that was on here, that one of my big things was transparency in the budget. And I had them get in that open gov thing. And when I was gone, forget it. And we joked about that with Kathy Goings made that great little festival over in Glen Elk. It was like a wine festival. And when she was gone,
it was, yeah. So
no
sometimes,
more.
yeah, exactly.
It's like no follow through.
Yeah. Or because it wasn't someone's idea, well, we're just going to not worry about that anymore.
She's gone.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that anymore.
Right. And I don't understand that, especially if it was successful. Yeah. If it was successful, why not continue it?
So bring that back.
Okay. That's a good idea.
I told one other candidate they could have that idea, but you can have it.
I can have it too.
You guys can both. I
got to get in there first. Yeah.
So the financial stuff, let's talk about the other way. So I asked you what they're doing well. What about the other direction? What do you think they could do much better at?
What they could do better at? Financially?
Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing right now is how do we grow that budget, I think, because unfortunately the budget's just so tight. It is so tight
really
to fund everything we need it to fund. And so I think the biggest catalyst is going to be how do we get more revenue by bringing people here and bringing businesses here. And part of that, I think, is really just making the neighborhood and the community cleaner, safer, and more appealing to outside people. So, it might not be necessarily how we cut things, but more so how we generate more revenue could be, could solve that issue. I don't claim to have all the ideas or all the best ideas, but that would be really something very important to me would be to really hone in on the budget and look to see, okay, are we wasting money
really
anywhere?
Important. I think that makes you really valuable. I talked about with Tamira when I had her here that, I think you and her are like the smart vote. Like you're a little bit smarter than everybody else.
Oh, no, gosh, no. No, I mean, I have my skill set and,
Yeah, I'm going to call you the smart vote, whether you like it or not. That's my label for you. So let's get off the financial stuff. I need to stop beating you up on that.
That's okay.
I feel like I could ask you 100 questions about stuff like that, but I feel like I'm going to uninterest people and they're all going to change the channel. So what do you think outside of the financial stuff? What would be a big problem that Clarksburg has right now? Don't say the roads.
Well,
I've been telling everybody, I try not to make these interviews pitches for me for water board. So let's not even talk about the damn water board. Let's pretend all the roads are fixed. Where do we go from here? What's next? Like, what's the biggest problem? You can fix one thing in your first year. What do you start working on right away? Neighborhood
cleanup and making our neighborhoods, not just our downtown, but our neighborhoods, our residential neighborhoods, cleaner and safer. And, how we do that is another question, but code enforcement, increasing the resources to them and to Public Works. And, it's going to take some creative ideas to get people motivated to clean up their properties, because unfortunately the city can only do so much in enforcing cleanup, So I don't know if there's more different types of incentive programs, if we do more, not like a spring cleanup like the Public Works does, but maybe a more frequent version of that's maybe smaller scale. I know that's a lot of work for Public Works.
I wish we could do something that got more people involved in that, because it's insane what a great program that is and actually how few people actually do it.
Yeah.
I wish it was one of these situations where people would like get together. Like, if you got an old person that lives on your street or something, they got a bunch of crap in their yard. How about offering, can I carry some of this stuff out to the curb for you? They'll take it for free.
Yeah. Exactly. And that was something else I thought about would be maybe some sort of program coordinated to the elderly population. Because a lot of times some of those homes, that is the case where they just can't clean or there's a hoarding situation, whatever it is.
Right.
Why don't we as a community do more to help those people?
And, people today are weird. Like they don't talk to each other. Mm-mm. I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah,
I don't really talk to my neighbors. Like if I have a reason, I do.
Same. Yeah.
But if there was a house that was, I don't really have any really close around me, but if there was like a really bad house with a bunch of crap in the yard, which they're all over Clarksburg, I would want it cleaned up. So especially at like spring cleanup when it's free, if all it took was me getting permission to go over there and carry stuff to the curb, like, I don't know how as a city you encourage that, though, because this is a culture issue.
Exactly. It's partly a culture issue. And government only has so much power to make people change their own ways.
People are just weird today.
Yeah. It's just a different It's a different
And
culture.
I'm one of them. I'm not saying everybody's weird about me. I'm weird too.
Yeah, we're more secluded and only focused on our own family units. Whereas I think in the past it was more like a community view where we're all neighbors, we're all friends, we're all family. You know,
a good example. Community view. I like that term. But I don't know. So, what do you think frustrates residents the most about government right now? You've been talking to people door to door, so you know.
Yeah,
you probably know better than me.
Code enforcement, that's mostly what people are upset about, and then communication. You know, I think the city tries to communicate with the public. The other side of it is the public has to be willing to find the information as well. But the city can do a much better job, I think, of just being more informational about what they're doing and what their plans are.
I do like the text thing that Tiffany started.
Yeah, the
That's cool.
city of Clarksburg.
Yeah, right now it's kind of getting burned up too much by all the stupid road work.
Right,
but I think that can be useful going
in
forward.
the future. Yeah. I agree.
I don't know if that's part of one of the new programs they got or what.
I know they've been working. I
haven't asked any questions about it, but I signed up for it and I get the text.
Same.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I do think they are taking steps in that area. It's just it's not going to be overnight. These, you know, it takes such a long time for properties to become condemned, and then you know all this.
Well, we've got the first step of they created it. Now we just got to figure out how to use it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, for people like me, it's just kind of annoying with the road stuff on there every day. Like, I'd like to see something
maybe different that would be helpful to you.
Maybe we make up a little like 2-sentence newsletter and start sending it out. I don't know, something. I don't know.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. When people are signing up for it, I mean, they obviously want to know. So,
yeah, exactly. You know, they want to be informed. Them. Yeah, exactly. They've signed up.
They've asked.
Yeah.
You know. So, what do you think? I think this is a really good question for you too, because you've already kind of been up there once. Like, what do you think the city specifically is getting wrong downtown? I mean, what's the problem down there? I feel like it felt like it was getting better there for a while, and I don't know if it's just the road work or the economy or what, but it just seems like hell down there right now to me. I mean, what happened?
Yeah, I just wonder, you know, the way people consume, you know, services and products now, it's just different. You know, the strip malls are where people go. So Emily Drive, you know, unfortunately, that's where people go to shop and to get their groceries and things. Maybe we need to think about what our downtown realistically could look like. Is it really going to look like how it did, you know, 60 years ago or whatever? No. Probably not. Never. Because of Emily Drive, because of the mall, because of...
just the world changed.
The world changing, exactly. Yeah. So...
we used to have department stores downtown.
Yeah,
I don't remember them that well. They were when I was like a little kid. When you were little, but I remember they were there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my parents tell me. My parents, you know, they came to Clarksburg for anything we needed, you know. Right. So... I think we need to gear our thinking more towards other small towns in West Virginia that have been successful. Maybe it's more like boutique places. But the other issue is just there's no foot traffic. So a business is not going to succeed without foot traffic. So you almost need to get like three or four businesses to all open at once. But how you make that happen, you know, I don't know.
Well, one thing I have a little bit of hope for, give Tiffany a little bit of credit here. If the things actually happen with the Waldo and the Gulf, you are putting people living downtown.
Right. And then they're going to need access to food, coffee, shopping.
They are already there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bunch of apartments. And you already got the Palace people there, but I don't think there are enough in the Gore people. I mean, you have some people there.
You do.
But it's not enough to support businesses right now. If this actually succeeds and we throw 2 more big apartment buildings in, that makes a big difference.
Right. I agree.
I mean, that makes a huge difference.
And then maybe that's enough people to where businesses can sustain. Because right now they just can't be open all day long, you know, Monday through Sunday and make a profit. They just can't. And I understand that from a business aspect.
I feel like I'm just old enough to remember when we had like stuff downtown. Like I'm not old enough that I remember like the department stores when I was like probably 5.
Yeah, yeah.
But even when I was, you know, drinking age.
Yeah.
There was bars at least.
And things. Yeah. And things. And there were people down there.
And there were things happening every night.
Yeah.
You know, I can remember going to the Ordinary and PJ Kelly's and all those places.
Yeah,
and there was always things going on downtown.
Yeah.
But now.
There's just, it's dead. It's dead.
And once again, changing the world. I don't think because of DUIs and stuff like that, people aren't going to bars as much though. So
Yeah, right.
Bars aren't cool either anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a generational change too. I mean, a lot of younger people aren't drinking like they used to.
So, since we're talking about downtown businesses, you and your husband just started a downtown business. So I'm going to give you a chance to plug it a little bit.
Yeah,
I think it's super cool that you're not just running for city council. You got skin in the game, man.
Yeah. So my husband, his father and his stepmother's business is Stoffers Fire and Safety. They are out of Ohio where they live.
Okay, so it's an existing business.
It is. It's an existing business. Okay. Yeah.
I'm glad I asked.
Yeah. So they cover, Western Ohio and a huge part of West Virginia, including Clarksburg. For fire safety, they put in suppression systems, extinguishers. They put in, suppression systems.
Oh, so they actually do the
sprinkler heads, all that. They do
this is a big deal.
Yeah. So like places like, maybe the Chinese restaurants or the Japanese restaurants, they all have those hood fans, they do stuff like that. So it's required, obviously, for businesses to open, to have those fire safety measures in place. So it's a very successful business. And my husband has been growing it really in this area. And it's to a point now where it's like they need a place here for their employees. We actually were able to get a federal loan that was a lower rate due to the fact that it was kind of a neglected economic area.
Right.
So because of that, we were able to apply and receive a federal loan that cut our interest rate in half.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, which was wonderful. And because we are essentially revitalizing an area that is so depleted, or helping to revitalize an area. So so they're going to be working out of that.
It's awesome. I also defended you because a couple people were saying, how do you put a metal building on Main Street downtown? Well, I just built one a couple years ago in Glen Elk too, and then there's the DHHR, and then there's the one down from the Chinese restaurant. It's like, apparently y'all don't look around very much because there was already metal buildings everywhere.
Right. Now I understand.
Not a new thing.
Right. Now I understand if it was across from City Hall or something.
And it looks awesome.
Yeah. Right. It looks so much better.
I like your colors. I love black and red. Yours are black and gray.
Black and gray.
It looks really good. The black buildings look awesome.
Thank you. That's all my husband's doing. I just
that big freaking dirt hole has been there for how long? It looks so good.
Yeah. I think it said I think we looked into it. I think someone said 19 years. That lot had been empty for 19 years.
I can remember when there was like a little crappy car lot there.
Really?
But that's even probably been
years and years.
15, 20 years ago. I think they actually had a mobile home there that they sold cars with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which totally was illegal in Clarksburg, but somehow they got away with it because I can remember being there for a while. Yeah. It was probably temporary. I don't know. And then they didn't build anything or something. I don't know. They got away with it somehow. Maybe code enforcement actually shut them down at some point.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Got to give them some credit.
So is there anything that you think that the city council could easily fix quickly, like a first kind of thing getting in there?
Well, I think there are easy fixes as far as cleaning the city up, painting light posts, just working on small things, the fences around the parks, if there's a piece that's broken, replacing that. I'm not saying they're not doing those things already because I know they are. They're constantly working, but maybe we look at the main problem areas and we say, what can we do in this neighborhood?
I like that attitude.
3 things. What 3 things that we could do? Sometimes small changes make a big
change. Just general cleanup makes a huge difference. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I know that's kind of a boring answer, but and it's simple.
I've kind of talked about this with everybody too, that we're very reactive to things. Mm-hmm. And I think it could make a huge difference if this new group coming in, especially if it's 1, 2, or 3 new people, just going out and with your fresh eyes, or even when you're out walking, maybe make a note of something. Like if I'm elected, I'm going to fix that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just something ugly.
Yeah. Because when you are out there walking door to door, you see
so much, don't you?
You see so many beautiful homes for one, but then you do see so many homes that have
you don't
issues.
Notice things in your normal day-to-day life. You don't notice nearly as much as when you get out and walk.
Yeah.
Totally different.
And look at it.
That's another thing about weird people today. We don't walk very much. But if you go walk around the neighborhood, you're moving so much slower and you're looking around. It's like,
and taking it in.
I didn't realize how many, things needed fixed over here. It makes a huge difference. It really does.
I think so. So, and that's the biggest complaint too from people really is just like the condition.
Right.
of the cleanliness of the city.
So one of the other people I had on here, and this became a question because he brought it up, and now I was thinking about it, and we're kind of leaning back towards finance a little bit.
Okay.
But how do you think the city should decide funding to outside organizations? Do you think they should fund them directly, or?
I think that they can fund them to an extent. Obviously, we have limited resources. So
Sure.
Perfect world, we give every organization the money they need. We can't do that, obviously.
Right.
I think we give money to organizations that help the problems we have. So, for example, if the biggest issue we're seeing right now is homelessness and drug addiction, let's put some money towards that to try to fix it. But the people that we are giving money to need to be held accountable. They need to show us results, and they need to come back and be transparent and say this worked or that didn't work. So again, with the follow through, it's about making sure where the money is going is actually being utilized for what we need.
I'm gonna let you handle my money, Hattie. You give all the right answers. So the infrastructure thing downtown, I've kind of told everybody like this. Let's just pretend it's already done.
Yeah.
What's kind of the next step? Like, we're supposed to have a sidewalk project when this is done.
Yeah. And
I've been trying to encourage everyone on and off camera. That is so important. Like,
so important.
One of the, I'm not even going to bring this up until you answer. So what do you think the next step is?
Once the sidewalks are done?
Yeah. I mean, the sidewalk thing, they don't have a plan yet. I don't think exactly.
Yeah.
What would you like to see with that, I guess?
Well, the sidewalks obviously need done, and maybe it's something that we do neighborhood by neighborhood, or we go by the worst sidewalks first or the most traveled sidewalks first.
So specifically downtown.
Okay, downtown. Yeah. So I think the sidewalks there obviously need fixed.
Yeah.
We do that. And then maybe we have some sort of community event to kind of celebrate.
Right? Cool.
And
do me a favor when the sidewalks get done. If you're on that city council, put some damn trees out there.
Trees?
It's so gray and ugly.
Yeah, I agree.
We used to have trees. It was so much prettier.
Yeah, I agree. Little things like that can make a big difference. I agree. Just
go to Buchanan.
further beautification.
Right.
And again, all that takes money. I understand.
Once you're elected, do me this favor. Just go to Buchanan for a day.
And look.
And look
I know.
around
It's
and
beautiful.
Say, this is what we need to look like.
Yeah, and there's no reason why our downtown...
a sixth of the budget we do.
Exactly.
And their downtown is so much prettier than
Exactly.
ours.
I agree. So we've got to hone in on that budget and figure out where we're wasting funds, because we need to have extra money for that sort of thing, because it does make a difference. It really does to citizens. Other thing, maybe like power washing. Like if we can get some sort of power washing incentive to people to clean their homes or their
I was talking about
properties.
That too. I don't know. Either that or we just need to take it on. I don't even know if that's legal and how we can do it.
Yeah, is that legal?
Yeah. I mean, maybe we don't even need to power wash. Maybe we could just take that new big fire truck down the road and just because it's really just dust. Yeah. Do we even need to power wash?
Right.
Maybe we just need a little bit of pressure.
More pressure than
it'd probably flood all the buildings.
Then we'd be in big trouble. Yeah, I don't know. We got to incentivize the people that own these properties downtown to work with us, and I'm sure the city could do a better job of working with them too. I'm not saying it's one-sided, but we can't force people to renovate or do something with their properties, but we need to find ways to incentivize them too.
So I'm going to play off of something you said already, because I was still sitting here thinking about, you said you were a little timid your first time around. Are you over that now?
I think I'm over that. Tough? I think so. I'm trying. It's so hard for me because I am like a sweetheart, deep down. But I think becoming a mom too changes you a little bit. And
you don't want to be a sweetheart.
Not always.
You're already married, so
yeah. So who cares?
Boss. I won't use the other word.
Yeah, and the other thing about that is like when you're the only female up there and you're with other 6, educated, smart men that all have a very strong opinion as well, that can be intimidating. But at the same time, I can overcome that. That doesn't bother me.
I wouldn't call all of them strong men. I wouldn't go quite that far.
You would?
That's totally a joke.
You said it, not me.
Some of them can be intimidating, though. I definitely can get that.
Yeah. So this time, I'd like to just speak up more and be more vocal about how I feel about issues.
Always remember you're equal up there.
Yes.
Everyone's equal.
Everyone's an equal.
Including the mayor. Let's get that straight in our head right now.
Yep.
The mayor's, even though we created this mayor position, that's nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
You're still just a councilman. You just sit
You
in
have
the
one
middle.
vote. So unless you have 3 other people, then you don't have any power.
And you aren't completely alone up there because Annette's always up there
Yeah,
with you.
exactly.
You got your mother-in-law up there
Yeah.
who I think runs the city anyway. I mean,
she knows pretty much everything about Clarksburg.
that's nothing against Tiffany, but Annette's been running a lot of things for a long time.
Yeah. And
anybody that knows anything about the city knows, Annette is the person to ask anything you want to know.
Absolutely. Yeah. And whenever we were deciding where to move, we joke now, we said if we would have moved to Bridgeport, we probably would have been like ousted from the family because Annette,
is she one of those?
Oh, she's a Clarksburg forever lover. Clarksburg only.
I've lived that my whole life because like my dad, even when I was younger, like if you get him like a gift from Target, he wouldn't even open it. Like he'd be so mad. He's like, oh, Walmart's in city limits. They pay my pension.
That's exactly how Annette is. Exactly. I love it.
So during your last term, like we said, you weren't there long enough to get much done. Was there anything in particular that you wish you could have put more work into? And I mean, honestly, there's still things from then that we're working on.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What are you still excited about?
Yeah, I'm so excited about what I have heard about improvements with code enforcement. So I think there are changes happening.
They did add a
with
guy.
that. Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did. So, those
I've been through like 3 different bosses. I mean, I think
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
We need to figure out why.
It's not a popular job.
No, it's not a fun job because you're like the enemy.
That's why we all should have been firemen because neither is being a cop. Nobody likes the guy coming out writing you citations.
Right. But when the fire truck goes by, the kids wave,
And during an election is the worst time because everybody I talk to says code enforcement, code enforcement, code enforcement.
Oh, I know. And it's I'm not trying to put them down because I know how hard they work. But we've got to figure out why that process is breaking down. That for sure. The other thing that I want to do is just be more willing to take risk on opportunities that come to us. I think sometimes there were things that were presented that could have been very positive for the city, but sometimes the council members are a little nervous to act on things, especially when they're, big sums of money and things like that. And I understand that to an extent. I understand that perspective. But at this point, I think Clarksburg doesn't really have much to lose. I think if we add anything positive at this point, it's a win. Right.
And that's one thing we won't name any names, but one thing I've been very critical about of not even just this council, but even some people in the past. It's like, it's so much easier when you're on council to just be against everything. Because, if something works out, you can still act like you're happy about it. But if it goes wrong, you can say, well, I wasn't for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a lot of what we've had in recent memory. And it really is a cop out, man. It really is. Like you gotta take some swings.
I think so. I think we're at the point where we have to. There's no other choice.
I'm not saying jump into things without putting the right kind of work into it.
Right. And the due diligence.
But sometimes you can go a few steps, like I give them all the credit in the world for what they're doing with the Y right now.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying we 100% should do anything with the Y, but they put some money into a study and they're putting some more money into trying to figure out what to do. And I think, that makes sense.
I think it does too, because if that can turn into something that our citizens can use, that's great. That'd be wonderful, So, I think it's wonderful that they're doing that. We got to also improve on what we already have. Sometimes it's not always about reinventing the wheel, but just improving on what we already have. So,
and I think one of the best resources we have right now, and I have no idea your opinion, I'm completely catching you off guard with this. We talked about things we were going to talk about and I didn't even bring it up.
That's okay.
But Tiffany is probably one of the biggest weapons we have right now. What kind of relationship do you have with Tiffany? Well, That's a question I haven't asked anybody else. You get a brand new question.
I get a brand new question.
But you know, some of these guys make me really mad how they treat her.
Yeah.
Because she's the best resource we have aside from Annette.
Yeah.
She's either number one or number two.
Yeah.
You know, these are the people that are doing the real work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, I get along great with Tiffany. I think she is trying to improve Clarksburg. I really didn't work with her long enough. You know, I don't want to opine on the things that have happened the last couple of years since I've been out. But,
sure.
You know, I know her family, I know her, and I get along great with her. And I mean, if these things come to fruition, the golf and the water, I mean, that's going to be amazing. You know, hats off to her. So,
it's a whole new town.
Yeah.
If that happens, it's a whole new town.
Right. That changes downtown completely. So, you know, from what I'm hearing, she's working on these things and, you know, they're coming to us. So we'll see. You know, I want to see more. I don't
even know why that popped into my mind because I haven't asked anybody else.
That's okay.
You know why it did though? I'm analyzing my own brain here. It's because you talked about being a little more timid because feeling a little intimidated because you're a woman up there.
Yeah.
And the way I see them treat her makes me so angry because I think that is at least some percentage of what it is. They don't like being bossed around by a woman.
Yeah. And I mean,
it's so obvious. Like I wish that some of those guys would go back and watch some of those council meetings, how they talk to her.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. And I mean, in my profession, it's pretty male dominated. So I've come across that a lot in my career with both clients and coworkers.
Smack that down.
So, you know, at that point, you just prove people wrong with your actions. You can say whatever, but just prove them wrong with what you do.
So I wasn't trying to ambush you with the question.
No,
that's just,
okay.
You got me thinking about it. So it was
absolutely.
your fault I asked
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is there something about the city government people don't understand but matters? I mean, you've been there, you know more about it than most of these people running. So
I would say that things just take a lot longer than what people realize.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Even to just get like
we're
an ordinance.
We're literally still working on things that were happening when I was on council.
Yeah,
like exactly. That damn splash pad.
Yeah, exactly. When I was on council, that was a thing too. So yeah, it's slow, and that's very frustrating.
It is.
So you know, be patient with city government. I think they're trying. Also hold them accountable though. Don't be too patient.
So a big part of what you've been talking about has been supporting the employees and stuff. And I think that's super important. I think that's how I won for city council because the police knew and the firemen knew I was going to take care of them. Same thing with public works. And I think you're kind of in that same category.
Yeah.
I think those people can almost win you an election. Because they all care about the election.
Yeah.
So give me a little pitch to those people. How are you different than the other candidates?
Well, I mean, I think it's about listening, showing up and listening to what the issues are, and then providing more clear communication. I think that's kind of some of the issues they're having now is like between city leadership and the different departments.
Agreed.
So
I think some things have went too far.
Yeah. And they don't have to get to that point. So I think if we just have more open and honest communication with our departments, you know, I think that would be helpful. And then obviously providing the funding they need, you know, those are the people that really keep the city running. So we have to get them the equipment and resources and things that they
My attitude was give them anything they want.
I know that I kind of feel the same. I don't know if I should say that, but maybe not everything they want, but everything that they absolutely need to do their job.
I mean, you know, like, especially with police stuff.
Yeah.
All we talk about is crime and the problems we have. It's like, you want a dog? Yep. Like, you want a drone? Yep. It's like,
whatever, yeah.
You know,
and
like the firemen, I mean, you need an air pack to go into a burning building. Yeah, we should probably get you that.
Yeah, right. Know? It's like, duh.
we should probably do that.
Yeah, like obvious things. And like, I know the firefighters, they've talked to me a lot about the cancer prevention screening. And
oh, God, yes.
They're very upset about some of that stuff. So why can't we help them? You know, and maybe I have a different perspective being married to a firefighter. Sure. I see like the mental toll it takes on you and like, you come home and you haven't slept all night. Like I get that. And I just have a lot of respect for those people because you don't see me out there on a fire truck, you know?
And even, you know, Clarksburg, for a fire department, we pay pretty well and everybody's pretty happy there for the most part, I think. But they got a dangerous ass job. I mean, we got all these crappy old buildings and crappy houses
Yep.
falling apart. And,
And-
that doesn't really put the citizens in any more danger. It doesn't really put the police department in any more danger, but it definitely puts the fire department in a lot more danger.
Yeah.
I wish they would just stand back and watch things burn more often, but I know they're not allowed
They're
to.
not really allowed, right? Well, Nick always says, firefighters, they're the only career it's like it burns to the ground and everyone's like, you did a great job.
Right? It's like we have less to clean up.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, and then even just like other issues like the addicts and the homeless, that's police dealing with all those people. That's not Joe Smith down the street that complains about it. Those are the police that actually have to go and take action. And,
I absolutely. The police, Clarksburg police work harder than any police department around here. I tell everybody that.
Yeah, I believe it.
Bridgeport is the best job in the world. The deputy's probably a more dangerous job because they're out by themselves a lot. But the Clarksburg policemen, they outwork everybody else by like 5x.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much to do. And a lot of it's stupid.
Right.
Just wasting their time. But there's just a lot of it going on.
There's a lot of calls. And that was one thing that always surprised me in the city manager's report was like how many calls they would get. It's like, they can't get that many in a week, or a month
lot of
or
them
whatever.
Are stupid.
I know, but
they have a lot of serious calls too.
Yeah, they do.
Now they waste a lot of time because people call the police for so many dumb things. I can say that from my profession.
Yeah, this.
Just so many, people just don't understand what the police
what
do.
it's really for. Yeah,
they don't. People, and I'm not saying people are dumb or anything, but they just don't know what the police do. They don't know what the fire department does.
No.
And they don't know what public works does. They don't know what animal control does.
Yeah.
They don't really understand things.
Yeah, like the day-to-day like workings of the job. Yeah.
Right. They just think any problem they can call in. And that leads to the police and firemen doing lots of things that really aren't their job.
Yeah.
And that's why we call them public servants.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Nick always says they call the fire department when they don't know who else to call for things.
Absolutely true.
Like the cat in the tree,
Yeah. Or animal control.
Yeah.
We can do nothing about that.
Yeah.
So what makes you, this is kind of, we're getting closer to the end here.
Okay.
I'm not going to drag you out too long.
Okay.
So what do you think makes you different from other candidates? I think we've covered a couple other things. I don't care if you say those again, but whatever. Why are you different?
Yeah, well, I think one of the skills that I bring outside of my financial skills, which I talk about a lot, is just that I'm able to communicate and work well with others. I get along with most people. And that is important on city council because, again, you have to have those 4 votes to do anything.
That's why I couldn't get anything done.
Yeah. You didn't have the support, did you? So I do think I can work well with no matter who's elected. I really do think that I can work well with them. And, the other thing is just, and you kind of mentioned this earlier, is like, I'm not like a career politician. Like I have a great job and a great life. I'm doing this because I want to help. I want to have a better community for my daughter. I mean, my husband tells me about growing up in Clarksburg and riding his bike all over this city and the stuff he got into, which some of it we probably shouldn't mention because he could have gotten in trouble for it. But
how old's your husband?
He is 35.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a lot older than him, but I used to live in Adamston and actually ride my bike to Lake Floyd.
Yeah. Right. Oh my God. Yeah.
Can you imagine today?
Like doing that or letting your kid do that. Exactly.
Or I lived in Adamston and I would normally go play basketball at the park in Northview because all my friends were over there.
Yeah. So you'd go all the way there. Exactly. That's
Walk.
how. Oh my God. You didn't even ride your bike.
No.
Yeah, and like he just tells me these stories, and I'm like, that was such a cool childhood. I grew up in the country, so I didn't have that.
Right.
But like, that's such a cool childhood, and like, I want that for my daughter.
Me and my friends were definitely city kids. We were all over the place.
I think that's
we were
so
hooligans,
cool.
is what you would call us. Now we didn't do like crime, but we were always goofing off.
Maybe causing a little mischief, but nothing too
maybe
serious.
a little bit of light vandalism here and there, just because that's what kids do.
But,
Same I grew out of that.
Yeah. Well, I would hope so. But yeah, I mean, I envision a place like that for my daughter. I would love for us to get to a place where, you could send your kid out on their bike and not think, well, what's going to happen, So maybe that's just the world we're in today, and maybe that'll never change or go back to how it was. But
who knows?
Why can't we can at least take steps to try to make it better?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're still so much better off than so many places. And I think we don't give our little town that much credit for that sometimes. We don't have a lot of work opportunities, but we also don't have a lot of violence. We have a lot of addicts and we have some homeless people. But I talked about this with, I think, most of the other people too. It's like, they're not like violent criminals in most cases. They're opportunistic.
Yeah.
Like if you lock up all your stuff, they're not going to like attack you and steal stuff now. Just like I said this to Kevin too. It's like if you leave your lawnmower sitting in the front yard, they will run down the street with it.
Right. Or your gas can if you set it out.
You know, if they have an opportunity, they will do it.
But I mean, I've traveled, a lot. And so I've seen places that have real problems. And, even just going to New York City a lot for work.
Oh, sure.
Greatest, I think.
Of course, that's an extreme example because there's millions of people.
Extreme example, but, debatable. I think the best city in the world. I know that's debatable, but.
I agree with you.
I love
New York
City.
Clarksburg.
Other than Clarksburg. But, you see where there are other major issues. So we can be sheltered here from a lot of that.
Well, what we're lucky of right now is we don't have violence.
Yeah,
Hopefully
agree.
we don't get it. The most violence we have is usually domestics.
Yeah, right. It's very rare to have like it's pretty brutal.
It's not violent usually.
Yeah.
I always tell people, and I talked about this last podcast too, like even in your sheltered life, when you go to like the beach or if you go to Disney World, just turn on the news every night and watch it.
Exactly.
See what's happening around the hotel you're staying in.
Yeah, exactly. And people don't even realize it sometimes. Yeah.
Orlando is one of the most violent cities in the country.
Oh, I know. It's terrible. Yeah. But that's a good point is that we're so quick to say how bad everything is here, but really we do have a good community, a strong
community. And we can
community.
still save it.
We can. And we can make it better.
Well, we can't save it. You can. I'm not ever going to be back on city council, but you can save it.
You never know. You might change your mind.
No chance. I don't even know why I ran for water board. I was just angry.
You're just angry?
Yeah. I was just angry. I do things out of anger sometimes.
Well, that's okay. Sometimes that's what it takes to make a change.
So I'm going to take myself off the screen here. We're going to look at all beautiful Hattie. And this is your commercial. We can even cut this out later and just make it a commercial for you. So what's your best pitch? I probably already made you do some of it. You might have to do it over, but
that's
best pitch. Start over.
Okay, my best pitch is that I'm young. I have fresh perspective. I work in finance. I manage, money for people and help them make smart financial decisions every day. I think I can do the same for Clarksburg. I think I'm very honest and ethical. I've worked over 11 years in my career to build trust. I'm not going to come to city council and ruin that or do anything that's going to put that in jeopardy. So I know everything that I do will be ethical, honest, and hopefully the right decisions. I think I have a lot of skills that I can bring, and I think I work well with others. And
any plans for the rest of the campaign? Just more knocking on doors?
Yeah, maybe some door knocking.
Any place people can go see you?
Well, there may be something coming this weekend.
Okay.
Me and someone else who's running may be putting a little.
Don't give them any pitch.
I won't. We may. I'll tell you off camera who it is. We may have a little event, but we're it's kind of last minute, so we're just kind of seeing if that would be worthwhile. But
Will we be able to hear about that on Facebook?
Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha.
And it would be within the next day or two if we decide to move forward.
And I
with
will
it.
also encourage people. Now, Hattie didn't make an actual page for her campaign. You're going to have to go make friends with her, but she has got...
I'll accept your friend request.
She's got a lot of good information up here.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of scrolling through here.
I also post all of that on your page, Gary. And,
absolutely.
The other public
Clarksburg
pages.
News and Observer Group.
Yes.
And plug me. I love it.
Shouting you out there. So people can always look. I always make the post public so that people can see them as well. And then separate from that, I will say that I did get complimented when I was on city council by some citizens because I was very responsive.
Oh, I didn't ask you that question. How did I skip that? That's one of my big things.
That's okay. Yeah, there was actually a lady that
You're not afraid of people, right?
No.
Yeah,
no, I'll talk to anyone.
Don't make that face because some of these people, they're scared. I'm telling you right now, they don't want to deal with people and they would just rather just sit up there and like statues and it's like a commercial. They're like, hey, we're city council. We won't name any names, but some of them are one way.
I mean, I deal with different personalities every day with my clients, people that are complete opposites of each other. So I feel like I can talk to anyone and
love that.
Love
that.
We all have good in us.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just about seeing that in others.
You did really good with a lot of your graphics. I was meaning to end this video, but now I'm scrolling by and everybody's looking at it. There's the building. For anybody that hasn't seen it, it's right down on West Pike, right after the Y. So right there's their new building. I say the Y like people know. So where Main and West Pike Street come together, right past there, like past McDonald's. It's right there. But that looks awesome.
And the address will be 660 West Main Street once the PISH office validates that. But we're working on that as well. So
cool.
We're excited.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Hattie. I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
I think you probably got yourself a couple votes here. We'll see.
We'll see, hopefully.
So like the video so Hattie knows you're going to vote for her. Please subscribe so you can see all the other videos. I do have a hot list set up or, so where you can see them all together, the Meet the Candidates interviews. And we got a couple more coming up. I don't have those scheduled yet, but I'll let you know. Actually, tomorrow I'll have Jackson Howell joining me, which is a little bit of a change of pace. We're going to probably talk about some more big state and national type things, but really important to have him on here, I think, because that position, it's pretty much like another city council seat, in my opinion, now, the way they changed the districts. So tune in for that. And thank you for joining us on Observer Live, Hattie.
Thank you so much.
Spectacular job. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And y'all have a nice evening.